Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from Salty Pension 300 from the True Off My Chest and Am I the Arsehole subreddits, and it says, am I the arsehole for trashing the gift my girlfriend got me? Throwaway. So me, 28 male, and my girlfriend, 30 female, have been together for 8 years, and we've been living together for 4 years. Girlfriend has always been the artsy type and always has some personal project going, but she has the tendency to get lost in her own world. We celebrated my birthday last weekend and she ended up getting me a pencil lengthener. I don't use pencils and the lengthener in question didn't even fit your typical number 2. It was purely for colored pencils. I also don't color. When she asked me if I liked it, I just quietly walked outside our home and tossed it in the trash. She was understandably upset and called me an arsehole for doing that, claiming that I could have at least tried it. Here's the thing. She's been doing things like this ever since we started living together. She's been gifting me things that she likes and ultimately ends up using them. For example, last year she got a packet of Sailor Moon stickers. I don't watch Sailor Moon, and she ended up using them all. She also gifted me a jewelry box one time. I don't wear jewelry, so guess who's been using it all this time? First world problems at its finest. So it's been a few days and she's still upset and has even got both of our parents to berate me for trashing the gift. She even admitted she knew I would hate it and was planning on using it after I calmed down in a few days. A detail that she did share with others, but I'm still getting name called. Am I really the arsehole? Edits, nearly every comment says we need to talk about this. The thing is, we have more than once. She admitted she does this because she wants something, but decides to gift it to me to say, I tried. I asked if I gave her a wish list, would that help? And she said that she would never look at it. And well, she didn't when I made and sent one to her. She, on the other hand, does have a wish list, which I do get her stuff from. And some of that stuff is actually expensive. In the comments, someone says, everyone sucks here. Walking out and trashing it like a drama queen makes you an arsehole. She's also an arse for giving you stuff that she knows you won't use. You're meant to talk about your feelings and about your expectations, not act like you acted here. Opie says, I wouldn't say I'm a drama queen. I didn't yell, scream or anything. I just had a disappointed look on my face, and she pieced together what I had done. I literally didn't say anything during the ordeal. Another commenter says, everyone sucks here, but you should have directly talked to her about this way beforehand if it's something you say she does constantly. Opie says, actually, I have. We've had many talks about this. She does this on purpose because she wants a certain something and decides to gift it to me so she can say, I tried. I offered to give her a wish list, but she literally said she would never look at it, and she did indeed not look at it. Commenter says, everyone sucks here, I have to ask, do you ever get her gifts? Opie says, yes I do. I actually go over the top with her gifts. She wanted a Nintendo Switch. I got her a Switch and she legit played it till she got carpal tunnel. Still uses the cast once in a while. Commenter says, do you tell her about anything you may like or does she have to figure it out? Opie said I sent her a wish list, which she never bothered to look at. Opie came in with their first update and says, I was not expecting this much attention. I want to thank everyone for commenting and giving advice. Sorry I couldn't get to you all. I wasn't expecting to make an update, but there's been a development. Before that, I want to address a few things. Many commenters said that my girlfriend is a narcissist or has some personality disorder. Probably should have mentioned this before, but she has ADHD, which she's medicated for, so she has always been pretty scatterbrained. However, it did get noticeably worse when we moved in together, such as blowing plans because she either forgot completely or forgot the part where we agreed on them, or completely forgetting to do any errands or chores because she is just so invested in something, usually an art project. There was one comment that resonated with me that said I must have been conditioned to accept this kind of behavior. That is accurate. My parents always instilled into me to be grateful and happy for getting anything at all because they got nothing when they were younger. If I got a sack of shit as a gift, I was expected to dance like a happy prospector, if this at all explains my tolerant/doormat behavior. The update. Despite using a throwaway, my girlfriend still found the post. She was very miffed by the responses and tried to vent to her friends, but they weren't on her side. She then decided to show the post to her and my siblings. They wanted to know if it was true, and when confirmed, they all yelled at her, and they got our respective parents to calm down and stop talking about it. She came to me over the weekend, and after talking about it since then, we kind of worked over several things. She recognized that she did really screw up, and as an apology, she gave me this cool dragon diffuser I've been wanting for a while, and a box of all the stuff I was gifted, telling me I may do whatever I please with them. She's also open to not receiving gifts for the next couple of special occasions, which I will be doing. So when it came down to her selfish gift giving, apparently what she meant by "I tried" was her forgetting about these occasions up until the last minute and not wanting to admit it. She hastily gets them off of Amazon, from whatever shows up first on her homepage, and just hopes I'll like them enough to not say anything negatively, and uses them when I won't. She refused to look at my wish list because gifts should be a surprise, but when I brought up her list, she had no answer. She said she'll look at mine from now on. I don't think this is a deal breaker, but it does need to end, and well, most of you were right. There were other issues. We have agreed to therapy, single and couples, which she will pay for. This may not be what you were expecting, but I think it's a good start. Opie came in with another update and says, so me, 28 male, and my girlfriend, 30 female, of 8 years, had split up about 2 weeks ago. We were having issues, see post history, and decided to go to therapy to work it out. After the very first session, I realized that I do not want to work on this relationship anymore. It was just too much trouble than it was worth. So I broke up with her. Lots of crying on her end, but she seemed to accept it. She has already moved out of our house and agreed that I may keep it since I have no family in our state. Things haven't exactly been well since then. Her parents, who have been divorced for a decade now, have turned a 180 and are begging me to take her back. Her dad even tried to bribe me to take her back. I've refused and blocked them, but they still find ways to circumvent that. My own parents have also done a 180 and now supportive, but I don't want to talk to them. As for me, well, I've begun to drink a lot more. People always say to work on yourself after a relationship, like going to the gym or getting a new hobby, but I'm just not feeling it. All I want to do now is drink. Co-workers and even my boss noticed my sluggish behavior, but then shrugged it off as me working too hard. My boss even offered some time off, completely off the record. I'm not sure I should accept, since I'm probably just going to drink it away. Any advice on how best to move forward would be very appreciated. A month later, and Opie says, I can't believe I'm still using this throwaway, but yeah. I left my home today seeing a bunch of packages on my doorstep. Didn't have time to open them, so I tossed them inside and only opened them maybe an hour ago. They were all stuff from my wish list. At first I didn't know who sent them all, but then I checked the personal email that I don't normally use and realized it. It was all from my ex. The email said, Happy anniversary, Milovani? Which Google says means beloved, darling, or well beloved, and some others. I'm guessing she brought these in an attempt to get me back. It won't work. I didn't break up with her because of a present. Check post history. I broke up with her because of our relationship was very one-sided and she was so selfish. But you know what? I'm keeping them. Now I can be selfish. So someone said to Opie on the back of that one, hey there, I've been following you since your Reddit post and this is an amazing update. Also, I'd like to thank you as well. It's thanks to your post that I finally realized that my ex was and is a selfish, disrespecting arsehole. He also did similar things to your ex. His birthday I saved up for months and researched the things he currently liked, needed, etc, etc. I would scheme to hide and make it exciting for him. Come my birthday, number one time he told me my gift hadn't arrived, and while we were having dinner, went into the nearby $5 shop and got me some random gift. I felt so guilty for not liking it. I kept chanting, it's the thought that counts. 2, another year he bought me a Star Wars pencil case. The thing is, I'd moved on from Star Wars 3 years ago. I enjoyed different things. He didn't bother or care to know what I currently liked. 3, another time I asked him outright to just get me this really pretty notebook that was on discount. He promised he would. When he handed me the gift, it was a Star Wars water tumbler that the cinema was selling as leftover stock. I asked about the notebook and he just said, but you like Star Wars. Mind you, at this point, I had said I didn't like Star Wars anymore many times. I was in fact even more pissed when the notebook I wanted wasn't on discount anymore and I had to pay full price for it. Sorry for the long comment, but I really would like to thank you for helping me wake up. We had broken up 2 years and I was still making excuses for him like, he's a good person, he's just busy and stuff. No, he was a straight up selfish arsehole. OP replies that and says, thank you for sharing. I'm sorry that your ex was a selfish arsehole. Eerily similarly, I started to pick up on my ex's selfishness when she gifted me a similar gift. She gave me a yellow Star Wars shirt, even though I'm not a fan of Star Wars, and yellow is a favorite color, not mine. I'm glad that you picked up on it, and seemingly faster than I did with my former partner. Gee bloody whiz, not Star Wars destroying relationships, holy moly. Let's face it wasn't Star Wars, I know that, I know. But we've seen stories like this in the past, and I always find it wild that you're thinking about your partner and you think, nah, I just buy something for myself and they dislike it that I could use it. I mean, just the thought process is mad. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from HeavyAd5415 from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit, and it says, am I the arsehole for telling my boyfriend's family that I bought our house, not him? He said, this is a throwaway account. This whole thing started last month or so. Me, 27 female, and my boyfriend, 26 male, who I will call Matt for privacy's sake, have been together for 6 years now. I'm the main breadwinner, and that has always been a struggle in our relationship. I would say he is pretty insecure of earning less than me. About a year ago, I finally saved up enough to purchase a house in the neighborhood I really like. Up until then, me and Matt have been living in his apartment, which is cramped and not located in a nice area. Matt has never been too bothered about moving. He likes living in his apartment and he doesn't mind living elsewhere, as long as he doesn't have to pay more than half. Knowing damn well I could easily purchase the whole house, and it was a bargain for the area, I bit the bullet and bought it from all of my own savings. When we moved in, Matt loved the place and I thought everything was fine. Now, this is the reason I'm posting on Reddit. 2 days ago, me and Matt were over to his mum's place for dinner. Conversation was going fine until the topic of our house was brought up. Mother-in-law mentioned how proud she was of Matt for owning his house at 26, which I was confused about, but obviously didn't want to start anything at the dinner table. Then Matt's sister chimed in about how much of an achievement it was. Matt looked over at me, not saying anything. I'm not usually a petty or confrontational person, but something about the fact that I was the one who not only bought the house, but also paid the majority of the bills, and Matt didn't even drop $1, stuck with me. So I decided to say something. I asked Matt, who really bought the house in front of everyone. I know it was a dick move, but honestly, I was so riled up by that stage. Matt said nothing, and then I announced to everyone that Matt didn't even contribute to buying the house. Immediately after saying that, I packed my stuff up and went home. I've been texting with Matt's sister, I will call Kate, who seems to be on my side. Matt is staying with his mum right now, so I have the house all to myself. He hasn't contacted me yet, and I don't know whether it's worth breaking up over a lie like this. Am I the arsehole? Someone says to OP on the back of this one, not the arsehole. The fact that he said nothing actually speaks volumes. He wanted to look like a big man while riding his girlfriend's coattails. As for the breakup part, I think it would depend on what he actually told his family. Did they assume he contributed? Or did he tell them that he did? If he told them he did, he's stealing your valor. Get him out. Opie says, Kate told me he said he contributed. Tomorrow I'm contacting him to see where this all goes. Someone says not the arsehole here. Matt is lazy and a liar and a freeloader. He had the audacity to tell his family he bought your house, knowing he did not contribute one black penny and doesn't even pay the bulk of his bills, and is sulking and hiding out at his mother's house and giving you the silent treatment because you called him out on his BS. You sound like an intelligent, ambitious and hardworking woman. You can do a whole lot better than Matt the mooch man-child. Hope he replies saying this gave me a good laugh, and OP was clarifying to a comment that was downvoted and says, it was definitely more of a straw that broke the camel's back situation. As I said in the post, financial insecurity is a major in our relationship, and shit like taking credit for purchasing small things that happened before. Never anything as big as taking credit for buying the house though. But after that, OP updated their post and says my original post, and then shares the link, says, I haven't quite figured out how to link, so hopefully this will do. Hi Reddit, I'm back. Last night I posted an Am I the Arsehole and it kinda blew up. I don't know Reddit standards, but I think 400,000 views is a lot, so some stuff happened today. Matt, fake name for boyfriend, came back to the house. I was assuming he was coming back to get his things and leave, but I was unfortunately very wrong. He literally told me he could forgive me and that he was moving back in, as if that was a good thing. I was so shocked, but he was dead ass. So, as any sane person would do, I grabbed all his remaining stuff, gave it to him and told him to get the fuck out. He got really mad at that, and I was worried he would get aggressive. So I called Kate, sister-in-law, for backup. She was really helpful and drove Matt home. As soon as I can, I'm changing the locks. As for some of the comments, I pay the mortgage, and I don't even think Matt knows what a mortgage is. I live in Canada, so I'm not sure if I have legal rights to kick him out. He has stayed with me for just over a year. I'm trying to seek some lawyer advice. Thank you all for your help, and I will try and update if I can. There was a couple of top commenters on this one. The first one said, "You're doing the right thing. Change the locks ASAP. Since you're in Canada and he wasn't on a lease or mortgage, he's likely not a tenant. So you can make him leave. But check with a local lawyer to be safe. Document everything, especially any threats or aggressive behavior. You're protecting your home and peace. Stay firm." Another commenter says that is absolutely not how it works. He was allowed to live there and hence he is a tenant at will. OP needs to formally evict him. Changing the locks is a very bad move and OP could end up in a world of trouble if her ex wanted to litigate it. OP says thank you for the advice. Haven't changed the locks yet and not sure about the certain laws in my area. As far as I'm aware, Matt isn't the kind to go through legal drama, but I'm talking to a lawyer about it anyways. The absolutely cheeky bugger to come back in the house and just say, "I forgive you, I'm moving back in." Like I could just imagine OP's face in that situation. Holy moly. What do you guys make of this one? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below and let's have another story. Now, our next story comes from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit from past description 319 and it says, "Am I the arsehole for backing out of my friend's wedding after she invited the guy my partner cheated on me with? I, male 30, have been with my partner Liam, male 30, for over 10 years. Things are solid now, but about 6 years ago, Liam cheated on me. It was a one-time thing with a guy named Evan. Somehow he knew from school. I've never met Evan. He and I have no relationship. After it happened, Liam came clean immediately, cut ties with Evan, and has never repeated that mistake. It took a long time to rebuild trust, but we did. That period of our lives was extremely painful for me though. Now, onto the current issue. A friend of ours, let's call her Claire, female 29, is getting married in a few days. Liam and I are both in a wedding party. We've been very close friends with her for over 15 years. She knows about the situation between Liam and Evan. She knows how badly it hurt me. Here's the situation. Claire also knows Evan. She met him around 6 years ago through unrelated circumstances and became friends with him. Mostly online from what I gather. She never talks about him around us. A month ago, while I was helping her with wedding stuff, she casually mentioned that Evan is invited to the wedding. I was stunned. When I asked her about it, she said she didn't tell us sooner because she didn't know how to handle it. Honestly, it sounded like she wasn't planning on telling us at all. It was an offhanded comment. She said she didn't want to exclude someone who's been a good friend to her because of a situation that technically didn't involve her. As Evan isn't really out and she's not really supposed to know what happened. I get that it's her wedding, and I understand she can invite whoever she wants. She pointed out there'd be 100+ people and there's no reason we'd have to interact with Evan, but I still felt really disrespected by how she handled it, especially knowing everything that happened. After sitting with it, Liam and I decided to step down from the wedding party and not attend at all. We haven't spoken to Claire since. She seems to be acting like we overreacted and are being dramatic for backing out. Some people are saying that we should let it go for one day and show up anyway. Others are saying Claire crossed the line and this is a reasonable boundary. The top commenter on this one said, "My husband was married before we got together. After we were married for about 4 years, for some reason his family decided to invite his ex-wife to a party. I'd never met her and had no desire to meet her, especially with several family members watching my reaction. My husband's family, however, decided it was time for me to meet her. That wasn't their core. I was pretty upset over the issue and told a coworker. She told me that I couldn't change their behavior, but I could change mine. It was my decision what I wanted to do. That was such an eye-opener for me. I told my husband that I wouldn't be going to the party, but he could go if he wanted. He went and I didn't, which was fine. It was so liberating to me to take back my own power. I have no idea what happened at the party. My husband and I never discussed it, but his family never invited his ex-wife again. You're not the arsehole for deciding that going to this wedding would be too much for you. In fact, I salute you for standing your ground and taking your own power back. Tatiana Moon says not the arsehole. You didn't demand she uninvite Evan. You just quietly stepped away to protect your peace. That's a boundary, not drama. She knew exactly what happened. She knew how much it hurt you. And instead of talking to you up front, she hid it until it accidentally slipped out. That's not someone who respects your friendship. It's her right to invite who she wants, but it's your right not to show up and smile through pain just to make it easier for her. Weddings are emotional enough without being blindsided by ghosts from your past. You handled it like an adult. She didn't. Fun Effective says no one's an arsehole here. It's Claire's wedding. She's allowed to invite whoever she wants. I don't know if it's fair to assume what you think she may or may not have been planning to tell you, because the fact of the matter is that she told you. But you're also allowed to not be comfortable being around certain people. Stepping away from an event because of that does not make you an arsehole. I think you're both entitled to feel however you feel about this person, and you're both entitled to make your own decisions on how to handle that. And I was kind of agreeing with that comment, Claire can absolutely invite whoever she wants. OP can do with what they want with that information. It was just the fact that it came out so last minute, which I found a bit sketchy myself. But what do you guys make of this situation? How would you deal with it? Would you turn up to that wedding or not? Maybe you got a different thought on the matter. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. This one's from the r/confession subreddit, and it said, I faked liking sparkling water for 3 years, and now I'm trapped. I'm 30 now, but this started when I was around 27, during a phase where I was trying really hard to be one of those put together adults who meal prep, drink sparkling water, and have plants that aren't just dying slowly in the corner. So I bought a 12-pack of LaCroix because, that's what the cool, healthy people were drinking. First sip, it tasted like someone whispered the word fruit into a cup of TV static. Absolutely disgusting. But I'd already posted it on my Instagram story with a caption, new addiction, lol. And that was the beginning of my downfall. Friends started bringing LaCroix over when they visited. Co-workers stocked it in the office fridge because I liked it. My girlfriend, now fiance, thought it was cute how into sparkling water I was. So she bought me a soda stream for Christmas. Now I'm in too deep. I've become the guy who nods thoughtfully while drinking what is essentially spicy sadness. I have flavors in my fridge with names like pamplemousse or limoncello, and I pretend like I can tell the difference. I can't. It all tastes like carbonated regret. Sometimes I just want a normal drink, but even if I open a Gatorade, someone will say, "Whoa, no LaCroix today." And I'll just fake laugh like, gotta switch it up. Meanwhile, my soul is quietly screaming. Anyway, if you're young and reading this, never lie about your beverages. That stuff will haunt you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Commenter says to OP, oh shit, my girlfriend thinks I like LaCroix too. She already bought me one the other day. Am I done for? OP said, you're going down the same path, son. A lot of people just said, tell her, or just say you're stopping drinking carbonated drinks or something along those lines. But this one did make me chuckle. But what do you guys make of this situation? Do you drink spicy sadness or spicy regret, whatever he said? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.